We've all gone through embarrassing experiences, you know? The first time you joked it or something. I don't know what I'm trying to fucking say. Point is, getting a boner during an ultrasound. This is a bloke. I don't know why he's getting an ultrasound. I guess you get ultrasounds for other things than pregnancies. I just want to hear what he's got to say. Do you ever get a boner to the beauty of life? All the time, bro. That's why I wake up with a boner fucking every day. 240p. This is going to be a banger.
Hi, so I hope you enjoyed my poop stories and how embarrassing they are for me. This one is even more embarrassing than shitting and puking in front of a bunch of people on the 4th of July weekend on a boat dock.
That's embarrassing, but it's like, I could kind of like understand it, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know, but it's out there. Anyway, so many years ago, I had a very good job that had excellent health benefits, and I decided to get a complete physical done. Everything, you name it. And at one point during the physical, the doctor had my balls in his hand, and
Have you like ever had that? Where they like grip your balls? I had to have it once. I remember what they were checking. I had some sort of pain that I went into the doctor's for, and they had to do like the bollock check, and I'm just there like, oh, these ceilings are looking mad interesting today. And his hands were like proper cold. Fucking hell. Yeah, I got a boner by doctor is so bad though. Hey, it's gotta be a compliment, bro. I mean, unless if your doctor's a man. Unless if he's gay and I don't know. He's getting a boner over... I guess getting a boner over a woman that's not interested in you, they probably wouldn't take that as a compliment.
And he goes,
are we sure they were a doctor, K1? Yes, they were a doctor.
Balls in his hand, and he goes, I'm like, the fuck does that mean? He said, well, I'm feeling something here that I don't know. I said, well, I had a vasectomy done. And he said, did you get cauterized or clamped? I said, both, and tied in knots. And he kind of laughed, and he said,
I don't know how a vasectomy works. Because I was having this conversation, right? You can still nut, right? But it's just the liquid comes out and the sperm doesn't. Because then it wouldn't work like having a vasectomy. Because then imagine if you nutted, but then the nut doesn't come out because it's like trapped down there. Surely that wouldn't work. Surely the liquid still comes out. It's just the sperm doesn't come out. Because the little sperms are separate to the semen, which is the liquid, the exoplasm. No? They cut your cock off? Yeah, that sounds about right.
He said, this could be cancerous. And I didn't agree with him, but, you know, what do I know? But I said, okay, so what's the deal? He said, you need to get an ultrasound done and come back to me, and if it turns out that there's nothing there, then we'll just have a laugh, and it turns out there's something serious going on, then we'll go from there. I said, okay. So the next day, I made an appointment with the imaging center in Ventura, California, and to get an ultrasound done. I show up, I check in, and I'm in the waiting room, and a gentleman comes out wearing the white, gimmick that medical professionals wear.
Sorry.
Calls my name, and white, gimmick that medical professionals wear. Calls my name, and I say hello. So we go down the hall, and he says, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm all right, blah, blah, blah. And he said, have you ever had an ultrasound done? I said, no, I've had everything else done to me, but I've never had an ultrasound. He said, well, it's kind of like a live action.
Currently, there's two men in this situation of the ultrasound. He's getting horny over another bloke. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
He said, I use a device and scan the area, and I take screenshots with the mouse.
Is he going to rub the ultrasound on his balls? I mean, I guess so, if he's checking for cancer in his balls. That would kind of feel fire, just like a smooth... Because they rub the gel on it, don't they? Okay, I'm kind of seeing how he's getting a little freak on. Kind of makes sense. I should make this video as well. You've never looked at a bloke like that. Like what? If someone was scrunkling your balls, would you not get a half chub at least? Nah, I'd probably get either nothing or full on. Depends. Couple guys I'd get a boner over, to be honest. Okay, fair. I can appreciate some guys are attractive. Whether or not I'm getting a fucking rod on over you, man. I'm not sure about that.
Screenshots with the mouse and send them to your doctor, and you guys go over it from there and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. So anyway.
Fucking hell.
As we're talking and going down the hall, he stops and
fucking jumped out the battle bus with my head.
And send them to your doctor, and you guys go over it from there and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. So anyway, as we're talking and going down the hall, he stops and he says, there could be an issue today. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, like, I have really good insurance, so what's the problem? I said, what is the issue? You know, what's the problem? He said, well, we have a female intern with us today.
Oh, God.
Is that going to be a problem for you? I said, no, fuck that. Who cares? And I didn't have a problem, and I still don't.
Would you rather get this ultrasound by some 1010 or just some random doctor bloke? Random doctor bloke, because I'd be like overthinking it and be getting embarrassed if some like 1010 was fondling with it. I'd be like, oh, she's kind of into me, and I'd be trying to start small talk. I'd just rather some random bloke. Like, I'm respectful, but I don't want to put myself or her in that situation. You know what I mean? Unless if she's into me from the get-go. If I could do like a 5-minute conversation with both of the parties and then get her vibe from that, you know, if she's dropping a little bit of game on me, and I'm like, oi, you little fucking tart.
But it just, I guess I'm glad that he asked me if that'd be an issue for me, and so that just being respectful, that's cool. But whatever, I'm like, nah, who cares? Anyway, we get down to the end of the hall, and he opens the door to a room, and he said, you need to undress in here and put on this paper smock thing, and then go next door right here, and I'm gonna start getting the equipment up and going and everything. So just meet us in there. I said, okay. So I got undressed and I put on the paper hospital gown thing, and I went next door into that room, and he was in the corner, and there's like a rolling cart with equipment and a screen and stuff, cables and shit, and he's unhooking that to take it across the other side of the room where there's like a massage table type thing that they have in hospitals or whatever, and all that stuff, and he said, and he stopped what he's doing. He said, "Oh, Jay, just go ahead and lay down on the table over there." And I said, "Okay," and I did, and in walked the intern. She was in her late 30s, brunette with a bob haircut, like to here, you know.
Oh, I love a little fucking Bob Demon. Just on the shoulders. You know what they say? If the hair's at the shoulders, the titties are built like bold.
Glasses, and quite attractive. And I was thinking, oh wow, that's the that's the female intern. And so he unhooked the cart and he rolled it across, hooked it back up, and right next to where I was laying down at, and he told her, he's like, oh, go ahead and get him prepped while I boot up the equipment and stuff. And
get him prepped? What, is she just going to start?
Oh, you little, you fat, just ugly, worthless prick. No one loves you.
That's what gets me going.
He handed her like a thing like this, you know, and I guess when you have an ultrasound done, they have to put some kind of like jelly on you or something. So she took a scoop of this stuff and got it in her hands, and she applied it to my ball sack. And
ball sack is so peak use of vocabulary. Kingsy's into degrading, aren't we all a little bit?
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, no shit, bro. She's a doctor. She's meant to do this shit.
Took a scoop of this stuff and got it in her hands. And
he's doing that. Wait, darling.
And she applied it to my ball sack. And let me tell you, she knew what she was doing. And she was very good at what she was doing.
This man has a way with words.
And I'm sure she's a very successful doctor somewhere. It felt fucking incredible.
Hey, I mean, if you're kind of in that business, surely like you want to be good at everything you do. Like, no matter what your work is, you want to be good at it. And if you hear someone, you know, say you're good at what you do, it's a compliment either way. Like, she might not be in the red light district, you know, standing there getting all freaky, but if she's in the fucking operating theater and rubbing balls good, then game's the game.
And I got a big boner in that.
Oh my god. Oh, do you reckon it was like one of them where it like starts moving on its ones because it's so excited, you know, and it like pulses and shit? What the fuck am I saying?
It felt fucking incredible. And I got a big boner in that paper fucking thing that I was wearing. It looked like a tent. And
You know, when your wood is just like as erect as a fucking tent pole, bro. What the fuck? Think you have to own it at that point. Oh yeah, 100%. You just gotta play it off. You just gotta be like, down boy. She's just doing her thing and you just scream that, down boy, get down. He's like, is everything okay? I'm like,
embarrassed, and I'm staring at the ceiling. I wouldn't even look at her or make eye contact with her. I was very...
I think I'd just start giggling. You'd have to try laugh it off, because if you try play it off, it's going to be more awkward. Like when embarrassing things happen to me, I just try to laugh them off, even if it makes me look more stupid.
I was very embarrassed, but turned on at the same time.
That's the best.
And then I heard him go, "Okay, we're all set." And then all of a sudden, my boner deflated, and we got started. And he took like this scanner thing, like you're scanning like a barcode at some store or something, and with his other hand he was navigating a mouse and taking screenshots, and I'm looking behind me.
So she was literally just there to apply the jelly. Anyone know what that job role's called? Might start a new career. I'm joking. Please sub up. Get me 1,000 subs. I need a car.
And I'm looking behind me and I could kind of see what he was doing, and it sure shit, it looked like an x-ray. And he was taking pictures and he was explaining to her what he was doing and how he was doing it, and so it's educational for me as well. And she had a couple questions and stuff, and he asked her, he said, well, you're here, so why don't you have a go, give it a shot. So he hands her the thing, and he says, I'm going to take the screenshots, you use the device on him. And it happened all over again.
Round 2. Oh, it's unreal. Oh, so it's not, you couldn't even blame it on like a one-off, like, oh, it's just nervous. Now it's just, I'm just fucking rocker.
He was much more aggressive.
Look at the YouTube video chapters. Oh yeah. Intro, ultrasound, female something, rolling car, bone.
Says, I'm going to take the screenshots, you use the device on him.
Fucking hell, I've turned this 8-minute video into probably like a 20-minute reaction already.
And it happened all over again. She was much more aggressive and forceful. And
look at the grin on his face. He's acting like this is a traumatizing experience. This is a fantasy, bro. This is a fantasy lived in real time.
Forceful. And she was really just getting it in there. And taking pictures, and I started to pitch a tent again. I got another.
Oh, I'm gonna have to use that one. I'm gonna have to write that down. Oh, darling, you're making me pitch a tent in my...
I got another boner. This time, yeah, really hard. A cat couldn't scratch it. That's
A cat couldn't scratch it. What?
That's I was fucking really embarrassed because there's another guy in the room and stuff, and the whole thing was kind of weird for me. But holy shit, was she amazing! And guys, you know this, like sometimes your nuts will go up into your body and stuff when you got a raging boner, and that's what happened to me. And the
nuts. Really? I feel like that just depends on how cold or warm it is, not on erectile alt percentage. You know what I mean?
Got to a point where she couldn't really scan my nuts anymore because they, Anyway, so
I've had it when my like nuts like disappear, like what when one like disappears over to the other side, and you have to like pinch and roll it back in, and you look at it and you just see the skin. It's like, what the fuck? Where's my fucking bollock gone? And then it turns out he was just chilling in, next door neighbor's crib.
And the guy said, hey, Jay, I hate to ask you this, but you think you could relax a little bit more? And I was
what do you mean? If he relaxes more, he's gonna burst, bro.
like, oh, sorry. So, anyway, so that pretty much ended that. I guess they got the images that they needed. So anyway, he started to unhook everything and take everything back across the room where he got it from, and I'm just laying down there on the table, and I look at her and I said, "How you doing?"
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you? Oh my. Oh, just either don't engage or don't make it weird. The most I would say is like, oh, I'm sorry, or like I just laugh and say sorry about that, not my bad.
And she said, would you like a towel? And at first, I was a bit insulted. I got some stamina. I could last a while. Like, don't flatter yourself, honey, but it takes a little bit more than that to get the fireworks to go off. But she was referring to the jelly that was all over my balls.
Oh my god, this man.
And so I took that the wrong way initially. And then I said, yes, I would love a towel. And that was that. I got dressed, walked out to my truck with a big smile on my face. And I'm thinking, if I got nut cancer, it's fucking worth that experience. That was great. So anyway, that's my story about that.
If this guy...
Anyway.
If this guy is not doing some sort of comedy or storytelling, holy shit. This guy's better than EDP4. Oh, that aged well. What a fucking guy, bro. What a fucking guy.